Bitcoin Radio, the sound of the chain.
Hello, friends. I hope you are all doing well. It seems like a lot of you out there are really interested in altcoins.
Yeah.
And how the whole crypto scene is changing.
Absolutely.
Waiting around for Bitcoin to take off might not be the best strategy anymore.
Yeah, definitely not.
So we're going to dive into some really interesting stuff today. Like how these Bitcoin ETFs are shaking things up.
Right.
And what's with this flood of new tokens. We'll also look at what's happening with U.S. regulations.
For sure. For sure.
The rise of AI in crypto and these things called subnets.
It's a lot to cover.
It is what? It's a lot to cover. But
Yeah.
the big question is, what will the next altcoin season look like? So let's unpack all of this together.
Sounds good. Let's do it.
So, these Bitcoin ETFs are bringing in a whole new wave of investors.
Yeah, they are.
Like the kind who are maybe more interested in stability and long-term growth.
Absolutely. This could actually lead to a more stable crypto market overall.
So you're saying we might see fewer of those crazy price swings that used to happen with Bitcoin? The ones that would then kind of boost all the altcoins?
Right. It's possible that instead of those big pumps, we'll see a more gradual and sustainable growth for altcoins.
Okay.
But that brings up a challenge.
Oh.
How do we navigate this new landscape, especially with so many new tokens popping up every single day?
Oh, yeah. That's a great point. It feels like there's a new token launch every 5 minutes.
It does.
How do we even begin to sift through all that?
Yeah.
Figure out which ones are actually worth our time?
It's definitely overwhelming. So instead of just chasing hype, we need to dig deeper. We need to understand the technology behind a project, figure out what problem they're trying to solve, and look at the team. Who are these people, and do they have the experience to pull this off?
So it's about doing your homework.
Yes.
Not just blindly following the crowd.
Exactly.
You also mentioned something called tokenomics earlier.
Right.
What exactly is that, and why is it important?
Think of tokenomics as the economic engine of a project. Let's say you're looking at a project with a really interesting use case, but then you see that their token distribution is heavily skewed towards the founders. That might be a red flag. Or maybe they have a really high inflation rate built into their token, which could devalue your investment over time.
So it's not just about the tech.
No.
It's about understanding how the token itself works within the ecosystem.
Yes.
It's about making sure the economics make sense.
Precisely. And speaking of things that could make or break a project, we can't ignore the impact of U.S. regulations.
Right. That whole regulatory landscape is a bit of a wild card, isn't it?
It is.
It could either propel the crypto market forward.
Yeah, sure.
Or really throw a wrench in the works.
Absolutely. There's a lot at stake. There are groups out there pushing for crypto-friendly laws because they believe that clear regulations would actually be good for the industry. But it's a delicate balance. We need regulations that protect investors and prevent fraud without stifling innovation.
So it's not just about being pro-regulation or anti-regulation.
Right.
It's about finding that sweet spot where innovation can flourish while still protecting people.
Exactly. And while we're talking about game changers, we have to talk about AI. It's becoming a major force in the crypto world.
You're right. From what I've seen, AI is being integrated into everything.
It is.
From trading platforms to new blockchain networks.
Everything.
What are some of the most interesting developments you've come across?
One of the most fascinating areas is the development of these advanced AI models that are being built on blockchain platforms.
Okay.
There seems to be this idea that by using a decentralized framework, these models can be developed more efficiently and cost-effectively.
Interesting.
It's a pretty compelling argument.
So it's like taking the power of AI and combining it with the transparency and security of blockchain.
Exactly.
Okay.
And then there are these things called subnets,
Yeah.
which are specialized blockchains built on existing platforms.
Okay.
They're designed to be more scalable and flexible, which is perfect for AI applications.
So it's like creating custom-made blockchains that are tailored for specific AI tasks.
Exactly.
Could you give us an example of how that might work in practice?
Imagine a subnet specifically designed for AI-powered gaming. It could handle the complex computations and real-time interactions of a massive multiplayer online game, all while ensuring a secure and transparent gaming experience.
So we can potentially see entire virtual worlds.
Yes.
Powered by AI and blockchain.
Yeah.
With economies and governance systems all running on these specialized subnets. That's mind-blowing.
It is, and it's just the tip of the iceberg. We're also starting to see the emergence of artificial general intelligence, or AGI, in the crypto space.
Wait, AGI. As in super intelligent AI that can potentially surpass human intelligence? I feel like we're stepping into a science fiction movie here.
It might sound like science fiction, but it's becoming a reality. And there are projects out there that are already working on building decentralized frameworks for AGI.
Wow.
The idea is to ensure that this incredibly powerful technology benefits all of humanity, not just a select few.
That's a crucial point. With something as powerful as AGI, we need to make sure it's developed responsibly and ethically. And the decentralized nature of blockchain could play a key role in that.
Absolutely. Decentralization can help to prevent AGI from being controlled by a handful of powerful entities. It can empower individuals and communities to have a say in how this technology is developed and used.
This is getting really deep and I'm loving it.
Mm-hmm.
But before we get too lost in the philosophical implications of superintelligent AI, let's bring it back to the world of altcoins.
Okay.
With all these advancements happening, it feels like the question of when altcoin season is almost irrelevant.
You're right. The old definition of altcoin season might be outdated. We're seeing a more nuanced and dynamic market now where growth is driven by real-world use cases and the development of groundbreaking technologies like AI and DeFi.
So it's less about trying to predict the next big pump
Exactly.
and more about understanding the fundamental changes that are happening in the crypto landscape.
Precisely. The next altcoin season might not be characterized by a sudden explosive surge, but a more gradual and sustainable growth in specific sectors.
So instead of trying to time the market, we should be focusing on identifying the trends that are driving real value
Yes.
and investing in projects that are aligned with those trends.
Precisely. We're moving away from speculation and hype toward a more mature and value-driven approach to investing in altcoins.
This has been an incredible journey through the evolving world of altcoins. We've covered so much ground, from the impact of Bitcoin ETFs to the rise of AI and the mind-blowing potential of AGI. It's clear that the crypto landscape is changing rapidly, and those who embrace this change, who choose to learn, explore, and make informed decisions, will be the ones who shape the future of this revolutionary technology. But we've only just begun our discussion, right?
Absolutely. We've laid the groundwork, and now it's time to dive into some specific examples and explore these concepts in more detail.
I can't wait. There's so much more to uncover. But for now, let's take a quick break, and we'll be back soon to continue our exploration of the fascinating world of altcoins. Stay tuned.
It really does feel like we're on the verge of like a whole new era in the crypto world.
Yeah.
All this innovation, it's just incredible.
That's amazing.
I'm excited to see how altcoins will like shape the future of finance as we know it.
I agree. It's mind-boggling.
It is.
But before we go any further,
Yeah.
let's zoom in a bit.
Yeah.
What are some of the hottest trends you're seeing in the altcoin market right now?
Okay.
What's catching your attention?
Well, one trend that really stands out is the rise of these AI-powered trading bots and platforms.
Oh, yeah.
They use really sophisticated algorithms to analyze all that market data, find patterns, and execute trades automatically.
Interesting.
Basically, they're taking over the trading process, which is pretty appealing to both new and seasoned investors.
So instead of spending hours glued to charts trying to decode every little signal, you can essentially hand the reins over to an AI bot. That's both amazing and a little nerve-wracking.
It is.
What are the potential pitfalls?
Like any tool you have to use it wisely. The biggest concern with these bots is that if the algorithms aren't designed or tested properly, they could make decisions that lead to big losses. And there's always the risk of becoming too reliant on these systems, thinking they can predict the future perfectly, which they can't.
So even with AI, a healthy dose of skepticism is key.
Absolutely.
What other trends are you keeping tabs on in the altcoin space?
Another one that's getting serious momentum is decentralized finance, or DeFi as it's known. It's this movement to basically recreate traditional financial services like lending, borrowing, and trading, but on a decentralized blockchain platform.
So it's like taking the power away from Wall Street and giving it back to the people. Sounds revolutionary. How does it actually work in practice?
It all revolves around these things called smart contracts, which are basically self-executing contracts that live and operate on the blockchain. Okay.
So instead of going to a bank for a loan, you can use a DeFi platform to borrow cryptocurrency directly from other users. The terms of the loan are baked into the smart contract, and it handles everything automatically.
No more banks, no more paperwork, no more credit checks. I can see why people are excited about this, but what about security? Are these DeFi platforms safe?
Security is always a big concern in the crypto world, and DeFi is no exception. But what's cool about DeFi is that the code is often open source, meaning anyone can check it out, audit it, and make sure it's doing what it's supposed to. This transparency helps build trust and keeps everything in check.
So it's like having the whole community act as a security team.
Exactly.
That's pretty neat. What are some of the coolest things being built with DeFi?
It's a whole ecosystem exploding with new ideas. You've got decentralized exchanges where you can trade crypto without any middlemen, yield farming platforms that let you earn interest on your crypto, and even platforms where you can create and trade these things called synthetic assets, which are basically digital versions of real-world assets like stocks or commodities.
Yeah.
It's like the whole financial system is being rebuilt on the blockchain. It's incredibly exciting,
It is.
but I imagine there are challenges too, right?
Of course. One of the biggest is scalability. As more and more people use DeFi, the networks can get clogged up, which leads to slower transactions and higher fees.
So it's like rush hour traffic, but on the blockchain. Everyone's trying to do their thing and things start to slow down.
Exactly. Developers are working on solutions, though, like these layer 2 scaling solutions that basically create an express lane on top of the main blockchain to speed things up. They're also exploring new consensus mechanisms that are more scalable and energy efficient.
So it's like they're building new highways for the blockchain to handle all that extra traffic.
All right.
It's pretty impressive. What other hurdles does DeFi need to clear?
Regulation is a big one. As DeFi grows, regulators are starting to pay attention. It's still unclear how they'll approach it, but it's something everyone in the space needs to be aware of. And then there's the whole user experience issue. Many DeFi platforms are still pretty complex and tricky to use, especially for newcomers. We need simpler interfaces and better educational resources to make DeFi accessible to everyone.
It's like those early days at the internet,
Yes.
when you practically needed a computer science degree to use it.
Exactly.
If we want DeFi to truly revolutionize finance, it needs to be user-friendly.
Yeah.
Well, we've covered a lot of ground here, from Bitcoin ETFs to AI-powered trading and the DeFi revolution. It's clear that things are moving fast, and it's a thrilling time to be part of it.
It really is. The innovation is just off the charts, and I'm super optimistic about what the future holds for altcoins and their potential to reshape the financial world.
There's one more thing I want to touch on that's been generating a lot of buzz lately: AI agents. What are they all about, and why are they so important?
Think of them as little autonomous programs that can interact with the blockchain and other systems on your behalf. You can program them to do a ton of things, like trade crypto, manage your DeFi portfolio, or even collaborate with other AI agents to create these complex systems.
So it's like having your own personal AI assistant working for you 24/7 in the crypto world. That's pretty amazing, but also a little scary. Are we talking about Skynet here? Are these AI agents going to become self-aware and take over the world?
That's a question a lot of people are asking, and it's something we need to be cautious about as we develop this technology. But for now, they're simply tools, albeit powerful ones. They're still under our control.
Okay, that's good to hear. But even with that in mind, what are some potential risks we should be aware of as AI agents get more advanced and widespread?
One of the biggest concerns is that someone could create malicious AI agents designed to exploit vulnerabilities in the system or harm other users. There's also the risk of unintended consequences, where an AI agent makes a decision that has negative ripple effects that we didn't anticipate.
So it's like the Wild West out there, but with AI instead of cowboys.
Yeah.
We need to be careful and tread lightly.
Yeah.
What are some key things people should look for when evaluating AI agent projects?
Always start with the team. Do they have a solid track record in both AI and blockchain? Then look at what problem they're solving. Does the AI agent serve a real purpose? And finally, make sure they have strong security measures in place to prevent any malicious behavior or unexpected consequences.
So it's all about doing your due diligence and choosing projects that are built on a strong foundation of expertise, a genuine use case, and robust security. Sounds like solid advice for any investment, really.
Absolutely. And always remember that this is a constantly evolving space. It's important to stay curious, informed, and keep learning.
This has been such a fascinating conversation. We've explored so much, from the basics of altcoins to AI-powered trading, the DeFi revolution, and even the emergence of AI agents. It's clear that the crypto world is a dynamic and rapidly changing landscape, and those who embrace this change, who choose to learn and adapt, will be the ones who shape its future. But there's still so much more to discuss, right?
Of course. We've only just scratched the surface. There's a whole universe of altcoins out there, each with its own unique potential and challenges.
And that's what makes this space so fascinating. It's a constant journey of discovery and exploration. Well, that's all the time we have for today. Thanks for joining us.
It was my pleasure.
Please leave a like and subscribe to this channel. And bye, friends.
Let us know what you think. Share your comments, questions, and predictions in the comments section below.
And if you like this discussion, please leave a like, or even better, subscribe to this channel. Bye, friends.
Bitcoin radio, the sound of a chain.